Who we got? I just see Pat Travolino and Victor Foles. What's going on, guys? How you doing today? 8 people. Well, 13 now. Please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it very much. Roy, what's going on, bro? How am I supposed to say your name, by the way? I don't know. Do you know? $29 people. Guys, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Jump into the chat whenever you'd like. Oh, just Roy? Okay. Just got home from work dealing with one nasty ass cold. Sorry to hear that, Victor. It is fucking miserable out there, man. I've been doing so many live streams. I haven't gone out in days and like a week probably. And that's very unlike me. But I went out today and boy, was that a mistake. It's fucking miserable out there, man. I might just hibernate until the summer. Another paid shill. Who pays me, John P. Hayden? Just out of curiosity. Oh, because I don't get paychecks, but I wish I did. Who do you assume pays me? Let me guess. George Soros, the deep state. Who? The DNC. Who pays me? And when can I get my fucking check? Desolation axiom. I'll prove you wrong right now. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, good point. Good point. All right, you got me. Oh, you're going to Florida. Nice. I'm out in my car waiting to go into the gym. Then boom, you're on live. Sorry, brother. Sorry, man. I want to get this out of the way. I think I'm only going to do one of these today. So I figured I'd get it started now, you know? Oh, really? Well, the kids are little germ factories. Trump's playing for dementia chess. Trump is Satan's ball sack. I believe it. I believe it. Can't prove you wrong. Trump should be in Epstein's cell. He should. No problem, Juan. I'm on it. Oh, shit. See what happened now. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I talked about it yesterday a little bit. Anyone, doesn't matter, Donald Fraser. Anyone could be a better president than him. Absolutely anyone. Laxy Gamer. Sure. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, they found out that there was a credible threat made against Epstein. I mean, Trump. One of those things that I actually read to you. Turns out it was a credible report. The one where Trump was supposedly, he forced the girl to give him oral, and then when she bit him, he beat her up a little bit. Well, it turns out that's a credible claim, and Pam Bondi lied about that under oath. Well, thank you, Filbert. There's another kid, fucking MAGA guy with dicks on his mind. I told you guys, you know my theory. Very flimsy. Joe blinded. All right. Satan was the anointed cherub that covered the throne of God. Then he was cast out of hell with a third of the angels into hell. All right, so let me just get this straight so everybody knows. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in Satan. What I mean is he's pure evil. If there is a Satan, it's Donald Trump. Did you see Neil deGrasse on why we need Greenland? No, I didn't. Trump's the biggest whining snowflake of the lot. And Mafia, who thinks he's a strong man? Who? Mafa? MAGA? You mean MAGA? Yeah, they do. They do. It's the funniest thing in the world. He's the softest little bitch out there, but he's their tough guy, you know? It's a GOP the GOP party supporters are all cucks. I agree. So you like protecting illegal child molesters? That makes you the pedophiles. No, no, no. I don't protect Donald Trump and the Republican Party. I don't defend them. You do. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about illegal immigrants, but do me a favor. Tell me what percentage of them are pedos and child molesters. I'll wait, which is the same thing, by the way. I'll wait. Yeah, we're losing it, Bumula. You're right, man. We're all over the place here. We're just out of our minds, you know? Do I believe in air? Yeah, I believe in air because I can breathe it. You know, I don't believe in anything on faith. Hello, leftists love being pedophiles protecting illegal child abusers. The fuck is that the one I just read, or is that did he say it again? No, it was this guy that said it earlier. I'd like to know how. I mean, who are they? How? What's the percentage? Can you give me some names and stuff? Both sides are evil. Wake up and watch George Carlin content instead of this guy trying to make money off of rage baiting you all with politics. Well, they're not going to listen to you. And I know what Carlin said. And Carlin was also more of a liberal than anything. And he said a lot of things about the Republican Party that I think are true to this day. More than ever, actually. I have to provide the evidence that he's Satan. Well, I don't believe in Satan. The evidence that he's pure evil, I could provide tons. I mean, refused to rent apartments to black people in the 70s, cheated on all his wives, raped his wife in 1989. She said that in court filings. Raped Katie Johnson in 1996, stiffed all the union workers that built his buildings. What else? Had sex with a porn star behind his current wife's back while she was at home with their newborn. He's lied, cheated, and stole his entire life to enrich himself. He's crushed small businesses just because he doesn't want to pay for their services, so they go bankrupt because he makes a deal to pay them and then doesn't, and they can't sue him because he has more money than them, and that's why he does it, because he can get away with it. I could go on for a long time. He's all over the Epstein files. Now there's even more accusations about him, and one of them has been found credible by the FBI. Yeah, true. God is using Trump to set the stage for the Antichrist. I have created evil for these times of trouble, saith the Lord. Yes, I have. What is there? What are you asking me? If it's 1%, it's too much. But you don't know that it's even 1%. You don't know. You just say it. See, I give facts. I give you numbers and all that shit. I could give you names of people in the Republican Party that turns out are pedos, but you can't do that. You'll just say illegals or chomos because you've heard that from Donald Trump and Fox News. Chat, you could state your opinions, but once you start disrespecting, you'll be timed out. That's right, Victor. So you have no conservative friends? In my personal life, not a one. On YouTube, I have a couple who I do consider real friends, but I also, I'm going to be honest, and I've told them this, I think they're confused because I know them to be good people, and good people don't support Donald Trump. So I just think they don't know as much about Donald Trump as this is what it is. A lot of people have been like you guys. You've been brainwashed into believing he's a good person and that everything negative said about him or every time he gets in trouble or something, it's all some witch hunt. They just don't like Donald Trump. So look what all these crazy leftists are doing to him. Meanwhile, he's the most crooked person we've ever had in office, hands down. Here we go, Juan. Hands down. I'm conservative. Oh yeah, my friend Juan here. He's my friend. He's conservative. At least he thinks he is. Anyway, that's why I think the couple of people I'm friends with in this world that are Trump supporters, I think they've been fooled into believing that he's somebody he's not, just like all of you have, you know. But if they really sat down and listened and looked at all the evidence and shit, they wouldn't be a Trump supporter anymore. Oh, without a doubt it is. They could barely spell their own names. Straight up, y'all are protecting illegal child molestation. Okay, yeah, okay. And again, you can't give me any numbers. You just say, when you just say things, it doesn't mean anything. You know that, right? You look stupid. You sound stupid. Must be stupid. Fuck off, dummy. Well, you could always call in and debate me and find out. Fucking guy. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, you're a trip. Not even Satan is that evil. Yeah, I'll give you that. Both sides are trash. It's the conservatives who will save America. Sure they will. Sure they will. Yes, I bet. They will save it for billionaires, that's for sure. Why would a pedophile head to a country where he can't get away with it? Why wouldn't they go to a lawless country? What the fuck are you talking about, Gavo? What does that mean? Why would a pedophile? Who are we talking about? Maybe you're talking about what they're saying about illegals, I'm assuming, right? You're literally on here every day crying about the same shit. Oh, I'm not crying. I'm making a living. All of them are lying to you. Listen, it's not, nobody can lie to me. I check things out. I research things. I don't take anybody's word for anything. I don't. When he was alive, the Liberal Party was the Republican Party. They just switched sides. Come on. Oh, man. I don't know who you're talking about. Lincoln, maybe? I don't know. You're a pathetic, brainwashed, hypocritical, delusional moron. Whatever you say, Nick. Obama has been on the island. No, he hasn't. Who in government is eating people? Trump. The left is a violent terrorist organization. Sure it is, even though the overwhelming amount of violent crime is committed on the right. Yeah, they are indoctrinated, no doubt. So worried about billionaires. There's plenty of money being printed. Get yours. It's worthless. Stop worrying about the wealthy. No, because I know things and you don't know things. See, you guys, you sit around and you cry and you piss and moan. I've heard you guys doing it my whole life. Oh my God, the fuck, my taxes. These people, look, they're buying soda with their food stamps. They're buying steak with their food stamps. My taxes. Meanwhile, a person making $60,000 a year in this country, about $37 of it goes to food stamps. 37 a year. Okay. Whereas corporate subsidies, about $500 to $700 a year goes to that. But you have no problem with wealthy people becoming wealthier because, Republican politicians just keep giving them breaks and raising taxes on working people. You have no problem with that. You don't even know anything about it. You just don't want people who are starving and stuff to be able to eat. You want to make sure that Jeff Bezos gets another yacht, or Elon Musk gets another yacht, something like that, another private plane or something. That's what you think that's important. Forget about the veterans and the disabled and the old people and the children. Fuck them. Let's make sure these billionaires get even more money. The billionaires in this country are a problem. Nobody else. They're the problem. You can't talk with people who are stupid or just don't have the same understanding, so no reasonable conversation can be had with libtards. No, yeah, you've got one thing right. We don't have the same understanding. We understand Trump to be exactly what he is, the low-life scumbag pedophile that he is, and you understand him to be a flag-waving patriot who loves his country and really wants to look out for the working class. Meanwhile, nobody, not even me, despises MAGA more than Donald Trump. He fucking hates you. He hates working people. He laughs at you. He does. No, I don't. I don't get information from anyone who lies. Dude killed his daughter over an argument about Trump. Bro, I'm glad you brought that up. That sick motherfucker. Yeah. This is how brainwashed you guys are. A man killed his daughter because she didn't support Trump and she challenged him on it. Oh my God, disgusting. That's how sick you are, though. I mean, Donald Trump said it in the beginning. He said, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and I wouldn't lose any voters. I know you guys think that means he thinks you're awesome or something. No, it just simply means he thinks you're stupid. He's saying that they're so fucking dumb that I could murder somebody in broad daylight right in front of them and they wouldn't stop supporting me. And he's right. If I showed you a video, if I had one and I showed you a video of Trump raping a 13-year-old girl right now, you'd either say it was AI, you'd defend it somehow, or you would just completely ignore it and ask, what about Biden? What about Biden? What about Biden? It's exactly what you would do. You guys are you're like programmed robots. You come in here and you say the same fucking stupid things every day. You ask questions that the whole world, except for you, has the answer to. I mean, you do no research. You don't learn anything. I don't think you're even capable of learning. You could barely spell, read, write. You still haven't mastered the fucking apostrophe. Most of you are probably in your 50s in here. You guys, the worst part is, aside from all that, is that you think you're smart. That is the absolute worst. It is mind-blowing when a stupid person thinks they're smart. He is, end user. He is. No, Trump is not bad. I totally disagree. And yes, Biden is a piece of shit. It's you, the robot. All right. Can you tell me how Biden's a piece of shit? I'm curious. It's only fair, right? If you're going to say it, why not? I told you why Trump's a piece of shit. Who cares, Juan? It always breaks record highs. Always. All the time. Always. Go look back through history. I'm not saying there's times, you know what I'm saying. Of course, I'm not talking about the Great Depression, but look at the last couple of years of Biden's administration. In 2024, 2023 or 2024, the Dow hit 45,000 for the first time in history. That's a fact. So now it just hit 50,000 under Trump. And if Biden was in office, it would have hit 50,000 under Biden. That's all. Stock market does what it does. He didn't stop wars. He didn't bring down taxes. He gave poor and working class people scraps, and he gave the huge tax cuts to billionaires. And he didn't stop a single war. Tell me the war he started or he stopped. I mean, even world leaders have come out and said he had nothing to do with it. Like India and Pakistan, they said Trump had nothing to do with it. He's just taking credit. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't stop anything, and he tariffed everything, so he raised the taxes. I'm so gullible. I bet, Ryan. Yeah. Yeah, it's me. It's not you. It's not you, the guy that supports a dude who wakes up every morning. The bleach blonde 80-year-old that wakes up every morning, paints his face orange like a clown, and then drags his right leg all the way to some podium where he could tell you something absurd like, I'm going to lower your prescription drug prices by 1,500%, and you believe it because you don't even realize this mathematically impossible. He tells you that his uncle taught Ted Kaczynski at MIT, even though his uncle died long before Ted Kaczynski was named as the Unabomber, and he never went to MIT. I mean, he tells you guys stuff that you believe that is literally impossible. I mean, you're the most gullible people on the fucking planet. You are. I told you, I could sell you magic beans all day. And then once you find out they don't work, I could sell you more. Guarantee it. That's good, man. That's good. What's this fucking guy cash apping me? Thought you were in the gym, Juan. I'm heading out. Oh, wait. I'm out heading in to get this work later, bro. I'm out heading in. All right. Go ahead, man. Have a good time. Thanks. Are you smart? Only compared to MAGA. If you put me in a room with a bunch of real smart people, no. But if you put me in a room with a bunch of MAGA people, yeah, I'm like Einstein and Stephen Hawking and who else rolled into one? Maybe Isaac Newton. My number is 410-941-9850. Now, don't ask for the number if you're not going to call it. Kelly Erickson, $5. What's up, bud? Biggest issue in our country boils down to education, in my opinion. We have way too many morons, not enough critical thinkers. Kelly, you are 100% right. Those red states completely and totally lack any critical thinking skills. Not one human being has critical thinking skills. Bro is failing to debate me. Yeah, okay. Once again, 410-941-9850. Just lying and spreading misinformation. Like what, Ryan? Tell me what I've said that's not true. Let me see. They dumb as fuck, barely got out of high school and forgot that they were the dumbest ones in their class. I know. They don't know what the Constitution says about presidents. They don't know executive decisions are not laws. No, of course not. They don't know anything. They have no knowledge of politics. But what's worse is that they have no knowledge of Donald Trump. I mean, do you know that every day I say things on this show and people didn't know it? Like the other day, somebody brought up in the chat that Donald Trump buried Ivana, his ex-wife, on a golf course. And like instantly a guy was in the chat like, oh yeah, he buried his wife on a golf course. You get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm like, bro, he did. He buried his ex-wife on a golf course. And when we had to prove it to him, and I don't think he believed it still. Minio, that's your problem though. Minio, haven't you lost enough, sir? And all your emails, you suck because you email me all this nonsense propaganda and you got your fucking inbox full, so I can't email you back. If you want, I'll go over some of your emails and I'll smoke you right now for these silly. And I think Minio is probably a decent guy, but he is retarded as a motherfucker. I'm sorry, Minio, but you are. You are. Minio fucking says the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Maybe she wanted to be buried on the golf course. Yeah, no, she didn't. He did it for a tax break. If he buried her on the golf course, then he could have considered it a cemetery and he would have got a major tax break, and that's why he did it. Yeah. Now she's, all covered up with weeds and shit like that. His kid's mother, Yeah. One of them anyway. I mean, he does have 3. Could you imagine if Barack Obama had 3 baby moms? Could you imagine what the fuck these people would do? Holy shit. He would have never got elected. The whole world loves Trump. That's what I mean. That's how stupid you are, Ryan. The whole world despises Trump. Did you see the last time he went to a sporting event? How he was fucking booed. Everybody hates him. Do you see that he set a new record? He's a 22, what is it? He's 22 points underwater, I believe. His approval rating is so horrible. I mean, he's got, I believe, his lowest approval ratings ever right now and his highest disapproval ratings. He's horrible. Wow. Ask me who's Jose. This is what I mean when I say MAG is gullible, Barack Obama literally has a gay lover he murdered. Yeah. Trump being one of the few pedos being described in the files as fucking old men. As fucking old men. What do you mean by that? He doesn't. Yeah, there you go, Rafiq. You tell him. How much y'all paying him, bro? Paying who? Me? I wish they would. Guys, why don't you hit the like, subscribe, and send a super chat? Also, the Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal's in the chat. My buddy over here, Kelly Erickson, sent one. The fuck? Show some class, guys. Show some class. It's black kids and Hispanics. Guys, man, I swear, I know you guys think that you're all super important and that I make sure I get to every comment. It's impossible. When there's 400 people in here, do you know how many comments that is? So if you're going to say something like this or anything, you have to tell me what it is you're talking about. It's black kids and Hispanics. What? One every swing state. Doesn't matter. He didn't even get 50% of the vote. He beat Kamala by 2 million votes. Biden beat him by 7 million votes. Trump did not get 50% of the vote. He didn't. America's back. It never went nowhere. If anything, this is less like America than anything we've ever seen before. Oh, he does. He does. Trump would let literally anyone spunk on his back. Wait, of you have the smallest amount of charisma. He would. He would. It's true. I mean, listen, it's so funny. He's so easily manipulated. All he's got to do, is like all anybody has to do, foreign leaders and shit, just give him a gift. Especially if it's some sort of award or a trophy. Oh my God. Anybody that wants favors from him, they just gave him what is he, the coal mine warrior of the year, some dumb shit, miners, something. Dumbest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's so fucking like condescending and insulting to give somebody this made up award, but they know they can get a favor from him. Melissa Machado, whatever the fuck her name is, she gave him the Nobel Peace Prize, even though it can't be transferred. It can't be. She just gave him the physical thing. And why? Because she wanted him to back her as leader of Venezuela. So, and he literally said in a press conference, they said, would you show her your support if she gave you the Nobel Peace Prize? And he said, there's a good chance I would. So she gave it to him. I mean, he's so easily manipulated. All you got to do is say nice things to him. He'll give you whatever you want. I don't know, man. Good question. Trump is a sick, twisted shell of a man. Anyone who still follows him is a pedo, twisted fuck with daddy issues. Men with daddy issues choose Trump. I agree. Replacement theory is real, people. Yeah, sure. Why are Democrats against voter ID? Well, if I told you, you would just deny it. It's not something you're going to be able to understand or comprehend because you've been brainwashed into believing that illegals can vote. And that's why we need voter ID. The thing is, illegals can't vote. They cannot do it. It's against federal law. And even if they broke the law, if they were somehow able to sneak a vote in, it would be caught and it wouldn't count towards the total anyway. Yeah, we went over that the other day. Yeah, they didn't find anything. Nothing they found is any proof of any fraud. Otherwise, we'd have new results. We'd be hearing Trump won, right? 315,000. I mean, he only won by or lost by 11,000 votes, but nothing yet, right? That was what, 2 weeks ago? Nothing yet. Yeah, he lost. Get over it. What am I wrong about, stupid? You have no lives, literally nothing, or suggest nothing to fix what you guys bitch about. I don't know who you're talking about. This sad little mom sitting in his mom's basement can't accept that the Dems were committing all this crime. Anyone who does like Trump is a pedophile, just like the Dems in the files, where there aren't many Dems in the files at all. Next to none, from what I know, as far as being accused of anything. Other than Bill Clinton, I don't even know of any Democrats that were accused of anything. It's not like Elon and Steve Bannon and Howard Nutlick and Donald Trump, you know? But I don't live in my mom's basement. I live in my mom's attic. Okay. And what laws were they breaking? What crimes were Democrats committing? Your side cheats. Yeah. No, they don't. Illegals can and have voted. No, they can't. And I'm not saying it hasn't happened. We went through this the other day on the show. We found out, like in Michigan, for example, 16 out of 5 million were illegal votes, and they caught them, and they didn't count. They didn't count because they have safeguards in place, of course. Illegals can't vote. It's against federal law. They cannot vote in federal elections, and it's very, very rare. Very rare. I can't even get a ballot. Well, then for some reason, you're not allowed to vote. They're all in the Epstein files. Which degenerate do you think should replace him? Who? Name them. Don't say they're all in the Epstein files, because I've read a lot of the Epstein files and no, they're not. So tell me who's in there. Name them. Even though you need ID to do literally anything in society, liberals somehow are adamant it's too hard. What the fuck? For black people to have an ID. So you actually know the reason, Michael. Yeah. It's not that it's too hard. It's just numbers are numbers. And I love when you guys say that. Trump used to say, you need an ID to go buy a loaf of bread. You know, you don't. You need an ID to literally do everything you said, or anything in society. Like what? Like what? Drive? Go into a bar? Maybe a strip club? What else do you need an ID for? buy cigarettes or liquor. What else? What do you mean? You need an ID to do literally anything in society. Yeah, right. I remember when I was out riding a bike earlier and the cop stopped me and said, "Can I see some ID before we let you go any further?" I remember I was jogging the other day and the police rolled up on me and they said, you better have your ID or you're going to jail for running without an ID. You know, I remember I went to an amusement park with my stepson. And they said, if you don't have an ID, you're not allowed to ride the teacups. And I said, you motherfuckers, you guys are so stupid. Simple answer is minorities. That's all. You're not going to believe it? That's fine. Illegals can't vote and rarely ever do. And again, their votes get caught. That's why we know of the times they do, because they've been caught. And it's not even worth it to them, because when they're caught, guess what happens to them? They get deported. Illegals didn't vote in 2020. Illegals didn't vote in 2024. Okay. Bottom line is a much larger percentage of the Black and Hispanic communities do not have a valid driver's license or state issued ID. That's why Republicans want voter ID, because illegals can't vote. And that's their only excuse for why they want it. Right. So what's the problem? How do you not understand that? Because what other answer is there? What other answer is there if that's not it? And that is, by the way, that is. They don't show I'm racist. Dickhead, do you realize the facts can't be racist? Let me show you something. A majority of black pepper have IDs. This guy, damn, pepper even has IDs, but black people don't? That's crazy. Nobody said the majority don't. It's not about the majority. What percentage of Black Americans do not have a valid driver's license or state-issued photo ID?
About 18 to 21% of Black adults in the U.S. lack a valid driver's license, which is much higher than the 5 to 12% rate for white adults. Also, nearly 28% of Black adults may not have a license with their current address.
Well, there you go. I guess that makes me racist. You stupid fucks. The party of racism is like, look at this racist motherfucker spitting facts to us. Yeah. And by the way, you guys who said you'd call in, I knew you wouldn't. Well, I obviously don't mean Satan literally. I mean, he's pure evil. Dude, seriously, calling anyone an illegal as fuck. Oh, we got a super lib in here, huh? Well, then don't watch me, because that's how I talk. If you cannot get an ID, you should definitely not vote. No. Josh Brooks, what you don't understand, and neither does the dope in the chat that says we need a vote ID for damn near anything. You know why? Because none of the shit you need a fucking ID for is constitutionally guaranteed to you without an ID. We all have a constitutional guarantee. We can vote. We have a constitutional right. We can vote. It says nothing about needing an ID. Nothing. That's why it's in the fucking Constitution, you dumb motherfuckers. So no, you shouldn't have to need an ID to vote. The only reason Republicans are doing this is because the less minorities vote, the more chance they have of winning. So people who don't have IDs won't be able to vote. That's it. That's what they want. That's all they want. Make IDs for free. Sounds like a great idea, but they don't. I'm an atheist, and yes, you're racist. Tell me how. What am I racist for? Tell me what makes me racist. I'm curious. How do illegal aliens get what the fuck? Where I don't know. Somebody just said I don't know. Anyway, I lost it. Illegal immigrants don't have a right to vote, you dumb motherfucker. Yeah, that's literally what I've been saying like for the last 15, 20 minutes. What in what way, shape, or form? When did you hear me say that illegals can vote, stupid ass? What's racist, Anthony? The facts? You're telling me it's racist to say a statistic. Okay. Understood. But you guys, you just want to be able to run around saying the N-word all day, and that's not racist, right? Yeah, you're so dumb. You haven't figured out racism yet? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. No, I didn't. I literally played it to you. It's a fact. I never said dumb. Some minorities, as you know, they're disadvantaged to an extent, and they don't have, depending on their situation, there's got to be a reason. 20-something% of them don't have a valid ID or state valid driver's license or state issued ID, right? There has to be. So whatever that reason is, something is hindering them from getting one. I'm sure they'd get one if they could. Same thing with non-Hispanic or non-white Hispanics, whatever. No, it's not. It's really not. It's 21% just for a driver's license. It's 8%, I think, for a state issued ID. You know, some people don't have a car to take a driving test in, stuff like that, you know? Well, how did we always do it, the God? How did we always make sure that illegals weren't voting when forever we didn't need ID? How do we do that? You don't think there's safeguards in place? I'm going to tell you how. You ready for this? So you have to register to vote. You have to register. Okay. If your information isn't valid or if you're illegal, you're not going to be able to register to vote. And even if somehow you slip through the cracks and you are, it'll be caught either before you cast your ballot or after. That's how we have the numbers of watch this. Let's ask Elon Musk. I mean, not Elon Musk, his app, Grok. Let's ask Grok. Hey, Grok.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
Hey,
Hey.
What was the question? Is it legal for illegal aliens to vote in federal elections?
Straight to the point. Let's check the law. No, it's not legal. Federal law, specifically 18 U.S. Code Section 611, makes it a crime for any non-citizen, including undocumented folks, to vote in elections for president, vice president, Congress, or anything tied to those. Been that way since 1996. Some cities let non-citizens vote in local stuff, like school boards, but federal, hard no. And yeah, people keep pushing bills like the SAVE Act to add extra proof of citizenship checks. But honestly, the ban's already ironclad. Why the sudden worry?
I'm arguing with MAGA, and they believe that undocumented immigrants vote a lot in federal elections.
All right, let's shut that down quick. Look, your MAGA buddies are peddling a total myth. Undocumented folks aren't voting in federal elections in any real numbers. It's straight up illegal under federal law since '96, up to 5 years in prison just for registering, plus deportation. States cross-check everything, driver's licenses, SSNs, and audits keep finding zilch, like a fresh 2026 review of 49.5 million registrations. Only about 10,000 got flagged for maybe being non-citizens, 0.02%. And most were errors, not fraud. Actual votes, negligible. Brennan Center's been saying it forever. We're talking 30 suspected cases out of 23 million in big 2016 spots. That's not a lot. That's basically zero. The whole thing's a scare tactic. Ties into old xenophobia, like back when Irish or Italian immigrants got blamed for rigging votes. Now it's border panic plus replacement nonsense. They push stuff like the SAVE Act to force passports or birth certs. Great, except millions of real citizens, especially women who changed names, poor folks, couldn't vote. Here's what actual voting looks like. No secret immigrant hordes. So yeah, tell them, show me the receipts. Because the data, it laughs at the claim. What's their best proof anyway?
They don't have any. They're just stupid. Thank you, Grok. Have a good night.
No problem. Night, Chris. Don't let him get.
Don't let what? I should have let her speak. Maybe she was supposed to. Maybe she was warning me of something. Don't let what? See how that didn't work out for you guys? I know you want to think it, but your boy Donald Trump lost in 2020 by 7 million votes. He got his ass kicked. His own attorney general said it was the most secure election in history. And guess who agreed with him? Ivanka Trump. Oh, yeah. Trump's daughter agreed with Bill Barr. Pretty much everybody did, everybody with brains. There's no way in this country. It's not like a brand new country, like we were just established, in the 1990s. Okay. They've figured this out. You heard what she said. There's several safeguards in place. There's no way an illegal or an undocumented immigrant's vote is going to make it to actually be counted towards the total. It's not happening. So you hear what she said? It's a fear tactic. What you guys don't get is that everything you listen to all day, everything you watch is fear mongering. They want to take your rights away. So, we need ID now to vote when you guys should actually be bothered by this. And I'll tell you why. Sure, it's no big deal to show your ID to vote, but you're the guys that say you shouldn't have to do anything. Certain things you shouldn't have to do, period, right? Just because it's in the Constitution that you don't have to do it, you shouldn't have to do it. But you guys are fine with them forcing you to show ID. Now, if your address doesn't match on your ID, if it's expired, if any of those things, you don't get to vote on voting day. You went there all happy to vote, but now you don't, because your ID has to be valid. It has to have current information on it. You see what she even said? Address is not matching. Yeah, so it rules out a lot of voters. It takes away people's right to vote when they enforce voter ID. It's unconstitutional. You guys, of all people, you guys are so fucking funny because you're the first one to talk about the government forcing you to do things like, oh my God, the fact that you guys cried about wearing masks the way you did, and now you think it's awesome that ICE wears them. I mean, you guys are so fucking stupid. You bitch about every little thing the government makes you do, but all they got to do is convince you this is for our own good. You got to show ID now, even though it's unconstitutional. We say so because if not, illegals are going to vote. And then you find out illegals can't vote. And even if they somehow slip through the cracks, the vote won't be counted. She just said that. 0.002%. So everything you believe to be true is bullshit. Okay, just like when you guys come in here and say, oh my God, you guys support illegal pedophiles and blah, blah, blah. And I ask you every time, yeah, how many? How many have we caught, say, in the last year? What percentage of undocumented immigrants are pedos? You have no fucking answers because you're just being lied to. They're telling you they're all pedos and you buy it hook, line, and sinker because you don't know anything and you have no critical thinking skills. Just like undocumented immigrants voting. Let me tell you something. You would have to explain to me why it would be so important for an undocumented immigrant to vote in a country where he's probably not even going to get to stay in very long, regardless of who's in office, okay? If it means almost definite deportation, you will be caught and you will be deported. Now, they live their whole lives dreaming of coming to America. They get here and they're like, I'm not breaking no laws. I'm not doing anything to get caught or draw attention to myself, but I am going to vote illegally. And then I'm going to get caught and I'm going to get deported. Come on, guys. Grok is right this time, though. Yeah, Grok is right, 100%. And that's why I used Grok, because they'll say Google is fucking left-leaning. Google. Well, this is Elon Musk's Grok. And I've caught them covering for Trump plenty of times. But that's the fact of the matter. I know it bothers you, but you're being fear-mongered. They scare the shit out of you into voting for Republicans, even though the Republicans are the worst thing to happen to working people. I mean, you vote, they scare you into voting against your own best interest. Guys, let me tell you something about the 1980s. In the 1980s, after, the party switch was pretty much complete, okay, Republicans knew they had nothing desirable to run on, nothing that working people would find desirable, okay? So they started this culture war shit. And everything in the 1980s with the Republicans became about sex, gay people, trans people, stuff like that. Race, black versus white, brown versus white, all that stuff. What else? What's another key issue? They use things like abortion, stuff like that. And they scare you into thinking there's always somebody coming to get you. Man, I used to listen to Fox News years ago just to see what they were up to. And I swear to God, man, this was in Trump's first term. After listening to an hour of Fox News, I was like, wow. Holy shit, that is terrifying. The stuff they're telling you on there is the Mexicans are coming for you. The Muslims are taking your jobs. Or no, the Mexicans are taking your jobs. The Muslims are coming here to blow you up. The gay people are going to recruit your children. The trans people are going to turn you trans. I mean, Donald Trump still says transgender for everybody. That's not a thing, never a thing. And what does that mean? You mean if Kamala would have won, every single person would have became transgender? But he uses expressions like that to scare the living shit because you guys are not critical thinkers. You don't have many brain cells up there. So all they got to do is scare the shit out of you, and you'll vote against your own best interest again and again and again. And that's why the red states in this country continue to be the least educated, poorest, sickest states in the entire country. And they keep voting Republican, and they stay stupid, sick, and poor. You know, that's what you don't get. They're not here to help you. They're here to help them. Okay. The people way at the top that don't even know you exist and couldn't care less. Republicans, they don't give two shits about the working man. Look what they're doing. Look at Project 2025, which, by the way, a lot of it Trump already implemented. You might not know it, but he even admitted now. I mean, one of his top guys, I can't remember his name now, was an author of Project 2025. He doesn't even deny it anymore. He just denied it till he got elected. One of the things in there, they want to restructure time and a half pay, how it gets paid. They want to make it so, for example, one of the suggestions is 80 hours for 2 weeks rather than 40 hours for one. So in other words, right now, you work 40 hours. It's federal law that your company has to pay you time and a half after 40 hours. But the Republicans are always in there to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. And they don't want CEOs and executives having to pay their fucking employees time and a half. So one of the suggestions in Project 2025 is we'll restructure it to 80 hours for 2 weeks. This way, they could alternate employees and stuff, and they could just say, hey, we need you for 60 hours this week, but we only need you for 20 hours next week. This way, you work 80 hours and you don't get a dime in time and a half, even though the first week you worked an extra 20 hours over your 40. Because now they ain't got to pay you time and a half until you hit the 80-hour mark. They want to do shit like that. They're as anti-union as possible. All they want to do is take worker protections away and everything else. I mean, you dummies still fucking think Trump's the man for wanting you to continue to have to mine coal and die of black lung disease. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, all you do is vote against your own best interest. You have no idea what's going on in the world. Because, man, anybody who hasn't listened to Fox News, I know it's torture, but listen to any show on Fox News for 1 hour and you'll be like, my God, I'm going to die any minute now. I mean, everybody's coming here to kill me. Mexicans, Muslims, the black people that are already here. I mean, fuck. Everybody's here to kill me. That's what they tell you. They showed, I always use these two things as an example. This is some of the funniest shit. Fox News, I think it was in 2024, but I could be wrong. You can look it up. They showed a video of this riot going on at this, what looked like a border. It was a huge fence, and there was like a riot, and people were throwing Molotov cocktails and fucking each other up. They played this video over and over and over, and they told you guys, look what's going on at our southern border. Look at this. There's a riot. They're killing each other at our southern border. They're jumping the fence, and they're entering the country. Then the next day, some other news organizations, they double checked that video, and they found out that that was a video from decades ago in South America somewhere. It was not our southern border. And it's funny because when Christy Nome went to visit our southern border, I don't know if you guys remember this, but she said, I don't get it. I don't see any of this stuff going on that they keep telling me about. Because it wasn't. It wasn't. There was another time, and you have to see the bus picture to understand because it sounds goofy, but believe me, because even when I saw it, they put a picture of the inside of this bus and it looked like a whole bunch of people in like hijabs, like the Muslim garb, sitting in the seats. Well, somebody examined this picture because they told you guys they're coming. The Muslims are coming. Somebody examined this picture and realized, and they had to apologize for it, Fox News, that it was an empty bus. The seats just looked that way. I mean, this is the shit they do to you guys. They had to pay the largest defamation settlement in American history, $787 million, because they lied to you about the election being stolen. I mean, Ashley Babbitt, that dumb bitch, got her head blown off because she believed this dummy. And then we get Jack Smith's report, and everybody in Trump's circles said to Jack Smith, he knew he lost. He always knew he lost that election. He just can't handle a defeat. So he wanted to convince his people, and he thought they could help him overturn the election. He lies to you guys every day. Again, he tells you every day with a straight face he's going to lower your prescription drug cost by 1,500%. It's mathematically impossible. Mathematically impossible. And if you don't know that, you should not be voting. He's been telling you about his health care plan that he's had since 2015, and it's coming in 2 weeks. Just 2 more weeks. Well, we need another 2 weeks. 2 more weeks, and you're going to have it. Well, let's start over with another 2 weeks. And then after that, if we need to, we'll extend it another 2 weeks. It's been going on for 11 years. Still no health care plan. I mean, oh my God. Now he wants to give you guys $2,000, everybody, $2,000 to go buy a health care plan, except what everybody's going to do. Because chances are, if you don't have a health care plan, you're probably hard up for money too, right? The majority of people will take that $2,000, catch up on some bills, do a little shopping, and now they have no money and no health care plan, and nothing is solved. But God forbid Trump actually thought for 10 seconds about policy. Oh my God. Instead of the ballroom and the stupid fucking marble bathroom and the signs he has to put on the White House because he gets lost when he's looking for the Oval Office and all this horse shit that's on his mind, getting shit named after himself. He was going to pull funding from, what was it? I think 2 different airports because they wouldn't change the name to Trump International fucking Airport. This is what your idiot president is thinking about. And Stephen Miller's, the shadow president. He's doing all the actual work. And he's a fucking Nazi, so that's wonderful. Jonathan Helldiver, $2. Trump and his supporters are all Nazis. Jonathan, you're 100% correct. Every one of them. Jonathan Helldiver, $2. MAGA will fall. We will take back our nation. Eventually, man. And I'm going to tell you a true belief I have. MAGA does not transfer. Like, in other words, these stupid people, they've always been stupid, and they've always voted against their own best interests long before Trump came along. It was when Trump came along that they got a title, a label, a name, MAGA, right? But the movement, the huge movement behind Donald Trump, the huge move behind Donald Trump, Bell movement, is it's not transferable. Okay, they'll still vote against their own best interest, but no other candidate in the future is ever going to get the kind of support Trump got. Never. It's never going to happen again. Fox News even said J.D. Vance would be a horrible candidate in 2028 because he lacks the charisma. He's boring as a motherfucker. He's corny. He's just a geek. So. Anyway, I would never listen to Fox. I never listen to Fox. Those fucking retards. I know, but I had to because I was like, what is making them do this? I mean, how do these people not know that this guy fucking despises them? Trump would never shake one of your hands in public unless it was a photo op. He despises people like you, despises people like me. But you guys have been convinced that a lifelong Democrat billionaire from New York City, pro-choice, by the way, is now a pro-life very religious, even though he never went to church in his fucking life till he became president. And even last Easter, he refused to go to church on Easter because he don't need your votes anymore. He's good. He doesn't have to fake the evangelical thing anymore. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to pretend to be Christian anymore. So this guy who was just crushed small businesses his whole life so he could steal services from them and made people go bankrupt and stiffed unions and abandoned businesses and stiffed all his employees. I mean, this guy somehow cares about the working man. Yeah. Listen, man, these shows are aggravating sometimes talking to you people because it's like talking to a special ed class. But I still got to do it because I at least some of you, whether you want to admit it or not, you're going to see some facts and shit that I show you, and you're going to say, oh, like how much you want to bet? People realize now, not all of you, some of you are brainwashed. You believe illegals vote and the votes go through, and that's how Trump lost and all that bullshit. All right, but there's a couple of people in the chat, I guarantee, that have some brain cells, and they heard that, and they said, oh, shit, this whole time I thought they were voting. Motherfucker, you know? So I got to do this, man. And I got to make fun of you guys. I wouldn't be able to live my life without making fun of MAGA people. It's too good. It's too easy, you know? Aggravating because you need to grift for money. You weren't doing this when Biden was in office. Well, I think I asked people to super chat once during the show when I asked them to hit like and subscribe. Yes, I do this for money, Trophy Hunted. You figured it out, just like every YouTuber. It's not worth it to me if I'm not making money, especially having to deal with you fucktards, okay? But I make a living. I've been making a living on my YouTube channel for 4.5 years, all right? So you could say what you want about grifting, except what you don't understand because you're stupid is that grifting, there's some sort of scam involved. You know, like when YouTubers say, hey, if you're enjoying the show, donate, that can't possibly be a grift because they only do it voluntarily and there's nothing they get in return. A grift would be like the Trump family charging you guys hundreds of dollars for Trump phones and then never sending them to you. That's a grift. That's a grift. Asking for money because you're providing a service. That's just how life works. Do you think a waitress is grifting if she expects a tip when she's done serving you? Then again, you probably don't tip. But as far as I wasn't doing this when Biden was in office, I was. You could ask people. I mean, I've only been doing these vertical live streams like this that show up in the live shorts feed and all that. I've only been doing those since November, but I've been doing politics shows on this channel for 2.5 years or something, except Biden is not Trump. So even then, it was an anti-Trump channel because Biden is 10,000 times the man and president that Trump is, period. And I could prove it to you. So why would I be bashing Biden if Biden was a good president? I know it is. It really is, man. It is. Anyway, guys, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Let me get some subs. I want to get some subs, and I need likes. Don't let MAGA laugh at me. Hit the like button, please. And if you can, sure, throw a super chat or a Cash App or a Venmo or PayPal in the mix. That would be great. Especially if you want to make sure your comment gets read. Biden was a walking corpse, never knew what he was signing. Complete and totally untrue. Completely and totally untrue. You got that from Donald Trump. Joe Biden never said, I don't know who I pardoned. But Donald Trump did. Oh, I could show you what appears to be a real auto pen situation if you want to see. But you guys are robots. So Trump says auto pen, and you're like, auto pen. Meanwhile, every president for like 100 years has used an auto pen. And if Biden says I authorized it, then they can use an auto pen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't invalidate a fucking pardon. But I could show you some videos where you won't admit it, but Trump is clearly worse off than Biden ever was. Yeah, do that. Thanks, JGB. You're not a server, though, Mort. No, I'm providing a service, stupid. Like, you're watching this right now. You're watching it for free. But if you would like to contribute, not you, I don't expect nothing from MAGA. But I'm saying I'm providing a service because you're watching the show right now, right? You're watching the show. You're watching what I'm doing. Okay, so that's why you would tip, just like somebody pumping your gas, fuckface, or serving you a meal. You understand? You mean the same Biden that referred to black kids as cockroaches? No, he didn't. You mean the same Biden that said, if you ain't voting for me, then you ain't black? Well, that was a stupid thing to say, but I know what he means. I mean, what he meant to say, he just said it in a very dumb way, is that if you are a person of color, it is in your best interest to vote for Joe Biden and not Donald Trump. And I mean, gee, I wonder why. Donald Trump was only endorsed by the Ku Klux Klan and every white supremacist group in this country. So Biden was on the right track. He just used bad words. He worded it badly. Trump is walking dementia, never knows what he's saying. Never. MAGA laughing out loud. I don't know what that's in reference to. People totally forgot about Ellis Island, and no one is crying about less colorful immigrants like Melania Epstein visa or Einstein visa. Seriously, yeah, Melania was a whore. She got a visa because she gave good head. Probably she was literally like she had a pimp basically, and his job was to provide rich white men with attractive Southern European women, and that's what he did. That's how Trump met her. Actually, now we're finding out he met her through Epstein, but Paolo Zampoli was involved somehow. So, yeah, she's a whore. Melania was a whore. And to get an Einstein visa, you're supposed to have accomplished something like, a serious accomplishment. And to this day, we don't know of one. Even when Melania says she works or she speaks 5 languages, there's no proof of that. She can barely speak fucking English. Did you hear that little speech she gave the other day? And when the Pope was speaking to her in Italian, she didn't know what he was saying. And she says Italian is one of the languages she knows. So basically she knows Slovenian and a little tiny bit of English. You compare Biden to Trump and you compare Biden and Trump shows that you're locked in, but not for the right reason. What is that supposed to mean? I don't think there's any comparison between Biden and Trump. But when I say Trump is demented or something, you'll say Joe Biden was worse. In this case, I didn't even say that. Somebody just said Joe Biden is out of nowhere. So I made the point. Trump is worse off. I'm going to show you some videos. You'll deny it, but he's worse off. If Biden did some of the shit Trump has done, they would have removed him under the 25th Amendment. There's no question about it. Saddest thing is, I don't think they all know it. Oh shit! I wish I knew what that was in reference to. Biden and Obama. This is like a grown man. Obama, like a 5-year-old. SEK $20 or SEK 20. I'm sorry. Congratulations on the 2 million views. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was awesome. Biden was a child sniffer, and you know it. Fact check. Did Joe Biden ever sniff children?
Video clips and social media posts alleging that Joe Biden aggressively sniffed a child are based on digitally altered footage. Fact-checking organizations have confirmed that the loud sniffing sound was added to original videos, which merely show him interacting with a mother and her baby or other individuals. 1. Altered videos. The original, unedited videos from events, such as a visit to Fort Liberty, North Carolina, in June 2023, do not contain any sniffing sounds. The woman who filmed the original clip confirmed on social media that the widely shared version with the sniffing sound was manipulated. In the original, Biden can be seen leaning in to speak to the baby, saying something like, "Let me whisper a secret." 2. Contextual misinterpretation. Other instances of Biden interacting closely with children or adults have been taken out of context in social media posts and commentary to suggest inappropriate behavior. 3. Media.
Anyway, there you go. So it was digitally altered. Now, although I will admit he's kind of a creepy old man, but I never really met an old man that isn't. Unapologetically, Monica, you're the stupid one from yesterday, I remember. So he said, okay, Here's what really happened with Trump and Epstein. Trump and Epstein were once friends until Epstein tried to get young girls while at Mar-a-Lago. Trump revoked his membership and banned him. All right, so let me tell you what really happened, because now we have the Epstein files, at least part of them. Okay. In the Epstein files, they found a document. They had interviewed, the FBI, I believe, had interviewed Epstein's lawyer. Okay. So Epstein's lawyer talked about a conversation he had with Trump or whatever. And he said, and he quoted Trump as saying, Jeffrey Epstein was never kicked out of Mar-a-Lago. He was never even a member. He was a guest, and he was never asked to leave. And by the way, of course he wasn't. Trump is not against pedophilia. And the only person that ever said that happened was Trump. That's your source. The most lion-ass president in the history of the world. He's the only guy. You guys went off of that because he said it. I always said, I guarantee you didn't kick him out. And if he did, it was over a real estate deal, not the girls. And even Trump doesn't say that he kicked him out for that reason. He said in a press conference months back that he didn't like that he was stealing his employees. Meanwhile, we find out now that he was sending girls to Jeffrey Epstein. Ain't that some shit? Yep. So he never kicked them out. And he never worked with law enforcement against them either. Traffic from Mar-a-Lago to Epstein Island. Yep. My interpretation, well, there's no way to interpret it. It says what it says. What's your interpretation? I mean, you serious? You think it's something that should be interpreted or is interpreted differently by different people? I mean, there's several claims that Trump raped 13-year-old girls. And one accusation we just found out was credible. And Pam Bondi lied the other day in front of Congress when she said there were no credible accusations. I will, Stronghold. Thanks, brother. Hit the like and subscribe, guys, please. What am I doing about it? Well, I'm a guy on YouTube. What am I supposed to do? I'm doing this. You're watching me now, stupid. Maggots suffer from TDS by defending the orange pedo. They do. Trump is in the Epstein files more than 1 million times. He is. What's bullshit, Larry? Tell me. What's bullshit? Yes, we're talking about the Trump files. Yes. Donald Trump reportedly contacted the Palm Beach Police Department to express support for their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, according to a 2019 FBI interview. Yes. He called the police chief after Epstein was already in trouble and the investigation became public. And he said, oh, thank goodness you caught him, because we all knew about his crimes for years, which blows his story out of the water, that he didn't know what the girls were going to, either sent to or going with Jeffrey Epstein for, what he was taking them for. Because in 2006, he says he knew all about his crimes. Now, just months ago, he said, I had no idea what Jeffrey Epstein was up to. No idea. But in that phone call, he said he did. And he said also, he was covering his ass. He said, basically, just in case Epstein tells you, I was with him in a room with some teenage girls once, but I got out of there right away. So that's why he really called, because he figured maybe Epstein's going to tell on him. Let me get ahead of this. And the only other thing he said on the call was focus on Ghislaine. She's pure evil. That's it. He didn't work with the police in any way. He called them to cover his ass and express gratitude. Yeah. If not for Trump, you would not have seen any of the files. Donald Trump was forced to release the files. He didn't do it on his own. He refused to the point where they had to create a law forcing him to. What a stupid thing to say. You don't want to say what stupid thing it was, just what a stupid thing to say, because for some reason you think I know what you're talking about. Gotcha. Leftist interpretation is always to push this nonsense. You say one thing, then ignore another. I guarantee you ignore your base in those files. Well, I don't have a base. I'm not a politician. If you're talking about other people that vote Democrat, tell me who's in the files. I mean, Bill Clinton's probably a pedo, and Bill Gates is in there only for having sex with an of-age Russian hooker. And he's not even a politician. So who else? Who else is in the files? Democrats, tell me. Because Steve Bannon is in there. Howard Nutlick took his kids to the fucking island, to Epstein's island. Elon Musk was begging in emails to be invited to Epstein's island. Donald Trump is accused of raping 13-year-old girls, and Bill Clinton is accused right alongside of him in one of the allegations. What was this credible claim? I want to see it. Very simple. You want me to read it to you? I'm going to read it to you. That's the best way to do it. I'm going to read it straight from the Epstein files that came off of the Department of Justice.gov, DOJ.gov. Let me just find the right one. Redacted, this is a complaint summary. Redacted reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. Okay, so it says some other things here. It says results matching name and DOB for criminal history in South Carolina, and it's got these 2 charges she has, right? So anyway, Pam Bondi was asked about all this, and she said no, there was no credible accusations, and they kept saying this was unverified. Well, now there was an investigation, and guess what they found out? In 2019, a woman sued the Epstein estate and won. She won millions of dollars. She got a settlement in 2020. So they went through this woman's history, and guess what they found? The exact same charges from the exact same date, right along with other biographical information about her, basically. Turns out it's the same woman. So if the girl who bit Donald Trump sued Jeffrey Epstein and got a settlement, then she must have had evidence, huh? Also, during their interview with her, they asked her for a certain picture, and she said, "Can I crop somebody out of it?" And they said, "Why?" And they saw the picture, and it was Donald Trump. She said, "I don't want to go after him because I know what'll happen." Okay, so will she now come forward now that they figured this out? I don't know. But she's scared to death of Donald Trump, just like Katie Johnson withdrew her lawsuit because you animals, you worship that orange fucktard and you'll kill for him. So she was getting death threats like fucking crazy. So she just withdrew her lawsuit, which is a shame. So there you go. And you can look that up, Nate the Great. Go right ahead. Propaganda that is repeated. That's why he repeats things over and over again, and you fall into it and believe it. It's the first rule of propaganda is to lie so big that people won't believe you're lying. Well, Boston, all you got to do is tell me what I lied about, and I'll prove it to you that it's true. Guarantee it. I repeat myself because what am I supposed to do to certain questions? Give different answers? There's only one truth to each question, right? So if I'm asked the same question on every single live stream, so I have to repeat the answer on every single live stream, that means I'm lying because I'm repeating myself? Gotcha. All right. Yeah, look it up. Go right ahead. It's been like all over the fucking news. Why did all of them try so hard to keep him from being the POTUS fool? They didn't. I mean, that's just in your minds. If you're talking about the indictments and shit, he committed those crimes. That's what happens when you commit crimes. But anybody who did, they tried to stop him from being the president because he's everything I described earlier. People with brains don't want a rapist, pedophile, lifelong con man in office. Why would anyone? That's why none of us with brains actually believed he could win, because we overestimated the intelligence of the American public. And boy, were we wrong. It's you guys. It's the people that don't know anything about politics that put this dipshit in office. Okay, unapologetically, Monica. I'm going to go to the bottom. Now, I want you to tell me what I've lied about so far. Go ahead. I'm going to look for your comments. Trump committed no crimes. Yeah, except for that 34 counts of falsifying business records he was convicted of. Yeah, and also the Georgia election interference case, which he would have been convicted of if he hadn't won the election, and all the other cases too. You can report me all day, bro. Nothing's gonna happen. The only time I've ever gotten a strike is when Lilo Brancato, the kid that played Robert De Niro's son on A Bronx Tale. I was interviewing him, and he was like, "You fucktards." He's an idiot, and he was talking about COVID conspiracy theories. And 10 months later, I got a strike on the fucking interview. And by the way, for the person that said about repeating the same thing, if somebody were to ask me what my name is today, and I say Chris, and then they ask me what my name is tomorrow, should I say Frank, Bill, Bob, Joe, or should I say Chris? You repeat answers because the answers don't change. Blaming the voters. Well, whose fault is it if it's not yours? What do you mean? What do you mean blaming the voters, dipshit? Trump didn't put himself in office. You guys put him in office. Who else would we blame? What the fuck? You blaming the voters just proves you have no idea why Democrats lost. No, the voters, this is mind-blowing to me. Voters vote, and that's how somebody gets put in office. So if the voters didn't vote for Trump, he wouldn't be in office. So what am I not understanding? Oh, yeah, no doubt, Bonnie. Very stupid people, the majority of them. Propaganda, Chris. I'm still waiting for any of you to tell me something I've lied about so I can prove it to you and make you look like the fucktard that you are. No, they didn't. Kamala is a light years smarter than Donald Trump and would have been a better president. And guess what? She would have been a better president for you guys more than anyone. I mean, those of you that work and stuff. I mean, guys, let me explain something to you. Donald Trump is a fuck up his entire life. Okay. He inherited in today's money about $400 million from his dad. And he proceeded to fail time after time in business. He failed 10 times more than he ever succeeded. He just got lucky a couple of times. Simple as that. And he turned $500 million into a few billion, which I think pretty much anybody could do. I guarantee it, especially since they found out that if he had just put his money in some sort of index fund, he would have like twice what he wound up with after all those years of business. His most lucrative year was 2025. He made $3.8 billion in 2025. It's the most he's ever made in a year, and that's because he made it off of the office of the presidency. Kamala, by the way, the guy's a racist, documented, sued by Nixon's Justice Department. He cheated on all his wives, cheated on business, got found civilly liable for sexual assault, convicted of 34 felonies, and impeached twice. Then there's Kamala. She went to Howard University. She graduated. She then became a prosecutor. And then every position after that she was elected to: district attorney, attorney general, U.S. senator, and vice president. She is light years. I mean, she humiliated him in that fucking debate. And by the way, when Trump is the guy you think is a good president, you can't say anybody would have been worse. Okay, there's nobody, absolutely nobody. Everything this guy on this channel is correct. I am one of a small handful of super smart people walking the earth. Oh, that's true. Marlon is. So, highest vote of all time in a deadly pandemic where millions were dying each quarter. You mean Trump and Biden? The highest vote? Because Biden got the highest vote of all time. You realize that, right? Because Biden won by 7 million votes. So, yeah, I mean, that's why Biden won by 7 million votes, because we were in the middle of a pandemic where millions of people were dying. Actually, it's a total millions each quarter. Come on, Mike. Is a total of about 1 million during all of COVID. About 1 million. Okay. So, yeah, Biden got more votes. Why didn't Biden and the Dems bring this up immediately before 2024? Because nobody saw the files. They were sealed. That's why. Trump is winning. Yeah, he's doing great. He's got the lowest approval ratings in history right now. Kamala can't even string together a sentence. Man, I was hoping one of you guys would do that because I'm going to show you some shit. Watch this. First of all, I'll show you this. I'll show you this first because you guys, this is an example of how programmed you are. This is an example because you motherfuckers, you're too stupid to realize that this is a woman. This is a woman who went to Howard University and graduated. Okay. And then every single position she's, been in her entire life, she's had to speak. You have to speak to juries when you're a prosecutor, when you're a district attorney, when you're an attorney general. You got to speak in front of the whole fucking country when you're a U.S. senator. You got to speak on the floor of the Senate. And as vice president, you got to speak. I mean, you guys this is how retarded you are. Fox News showed you one clip where she fucked up her words. You assholes have been walking around saying this. I remember some hillbilly came on one of my politics shows on a debate night. And he said, fucking Kamala can't even fucking string together a sentence. I said, yeah, watch what happens tonight. I mean, you guys are, you know why you say that? This is what I mean when I say you don't know anything. I mean, you think Kamala can't string together a sentence? Are you fucking for real? You just never listened to her. I mean, that's got to be it. But somehow, I mean, I know you guys listened to the debate. So how did you miss it? I don't understand.
Donald Trump, their first face-to-face.
The states are voting. The other thing, they in World War III.
Why aren't they playing? I don't know. All right. Let's try that again. Still not playing. Give me a second. All right. I don't know what to do at this point in time. I'm just going to start over because I don't know what to do. But I will show you this in the meantime. This is what Kamala had Trump doing during the fucking debate. This is what Kamala had Trump doing. He's so fucking easily triggered.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Oh, God, she made him so triggered. And by the way, that's another thing you were lied to about, because after the election, not after Trump took office, after the election, you never heard about that again. Even the woman who made up the lie on Facebook came out and said it was a joke. They're not eating the fucking pets. Fucking guys are so dumb. You believe this shit? Let's watch Kamala not be able to complete a sentence. Let's see.
In Congress and said, kill the bill. And you know why? Because he'd prefer to run on a problem.
Hold on.
But my question to you tonight is, why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. And let me say that the United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I supported. And that bill would have put 1,500 more border agents on the border to help those folks who are working there right now overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country. That bill would have put more resources to allow us to prosecute transnational criminal organizations for trafficking.
Yeah. You're totally right. She definitely can't form a complete sentence. You stupid motherfuckers. She can't form a complete sentence. Meanwhile, Trump is your guy. And you know, linguists have studied Trump's language, his speaking, and he speaks on a third grade level. That's a fact. Donald Trump speaks like a third grader speaks on a third grade level. And by the way, he does that for a reason. I'm not saying Trump is no genius. He's not. But if you look at his old interviews and stuff before he ran for politics, he sounded fairly intelligent. The thing is, Roger Stone and some other people that basically trained Trump on how to win when running for president, they told him literally, and this is no bullshit, there's a documentary about this. They told him to dumb himself down so you guys could understand him. I swear on everything I love, Trump was told that. Talk like a moron, because these people that you want to vote for you are the same people that were saying, yeah, fucking Barack Obama, I can't stand him when I don't even understand it with all them big words, and so he knew he was talking to a bunch of illiterates, so he speaks like one. He does it on purpose, but here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, when she gets in the,
Yeah.
3 and 4. We're scheduled to be at 3 and 4. We're scheduled to be at 4%, which is pretty amazing because we have a deadhead Fed hair. I mean, this guy, the head of the Federal Reserve.
Deadhead Fed hair.
And I left Louisiana. And I went to Puerto Rico, and I met with the president of the Virgin Islands. These are people that are incredible people. They've suffered gravely, and we'll be there. We're going to be there.
He doesn't know he's the president of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. If you're a pro-vax guy, you have no idea calling anyone an idiot. You realize that comment alone makes you an idiot, right? Like vaccines that people have been taking for 100 fucking years and we all turned out just fine. Well, except for you guys. You know what? Did you get vaccinated, Coop? Because you might have a point. You MAGA people. Maybe I just got lucky. Yeah. RFK, the head of Health of Human Services, is a lawyer. Doesn't know anything about health, and he's anti-vax, and so is Cooper here. Anti-vax. You're literally a fucking moron. There's only a few people on this planet as smart as I am. The guy in this channel is telling you the truth. That is true. 2.7 billion is more than a few million. What does that mean? What does that mean? You talking about Trump's money? But it wasn't a few million. It was $400 million. $400 million. It wasn't a few million. Does anyone ever remember when Trump said that he found his daughter to be sexy and beautiful, and that if he could, he would date her? Oh, yeah. I play the clips all the time. And he also said that when they asked him on The View, what do you have in common with your daughter? He said, well, I was going to say sex. What do you mean you were gonna? You just said sex. And then he speculated on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous once when being asked about Marla and Donald's daughter, Tiffany, who was 4 at the time. What does she have of Marla's? And instead of being a normal father and saying, well, she has her eyes, she's got certain features, he said, well, she's got Marla's legs, and we don't know if she has this yet. So he's speculating about how big his daughter's titties are going to be. Yeah. Yep. He also said that she always had a very, it's kind of like what Mila said here. She has a very beautiful figure, and I've often said if she was not my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. This is what Donald Trump said. And he also called her very voluptuous on Howard Stern's show, and allowed Howard Stern to call her a piece of ass. Well, you can't sleep your way to the top. That's why I specifically mentioned that all her positions, except for her first one, she was elected to. So 12 million votes in California. I'm assuming she blew 12 million guys. You guys, Joe, are so your last name is Gonzalez and you support Trump. Oh, there's no point in even talking to you. Fucking retard. Gonzalez. Let me see. I'm a Hispanic. Let me vote for Trump. Yeah. The only person who can get away with being that stupid in this chat is Juan. He's a very sick man. He is. Trump and his family have corruptly, illegally, and corruptly, illegally, and quid pro quo and unethically accrued $5 billion fucking dollars since he became president. Him and his family, yeah, $5 billion. Him alone, $4 billion. Yeah. All of his kids' net worths have doubled, and Barron Trump made $150 million off of insider trading thanks to his father. What's the need to? What's the need to? Why should we be able to name an ingredient? You're talking about things that most of us got when we were children, and it wasn't even up to us, right? If you're talking about the COVID thing, isn't it funny that I got the shot and the booster? My daughter did, my wife did, my stepson did, his girlfriend did, my brother did, my mother did, my best friend Tim did, my other friend Cam did, and not a single issue. Isn't that some shit? See, I'll tell you why you guys are stupid, because you've been convinced that that's a bad thing, which, by the way, that was a Donald Trump thing. He fast-tracked the vaccine. And you want to hear the funniest part? Just recently, a few months ago, look it up. Tell me I'm lying. Melania and Trump got their well, Trump did. I'm not sure about Melania. She got it when it first came out, but Trump got his booster vaccine at Walter Reed just recently. So did, and this was a Rupert Murdoch rule, every on-air news personality at Fox News had to get the vaccine, and they all got it. There was a sign on the door of the studio that you can't enter without a fucking mask, but these dopes convinced you that it's a bad thing. So what you guys do, because you're stupid, is say your friend gets the vaccine and then he has a heart attack a year later. Chances are he was going to have a heart attack no matter what, right? But you'll attribute it to the vaccine because you're stupid and you're a conspiracy theorist. So let me ask you something. How many people have died from it? Tell me how many people have died. Yes, he did. 500 million. Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's true, Mila. Yeah. Ilhan Omar, 5,000 net worth, 5,000. 2 years later, 34 million. Yeah, I'm going to break your heart real quick. Why is Ilhan Omar's net worth so high? Listen.
Based on financial disclosures filed in May 2025, covering the 2024 tax year, Representative Ilhan Omar reported a significant increase in her household net worth, with estimates ranging between $6 million and $30 million. This represented a dramatic, rapid rise from her previous year's filing, which placed her assets in a much lower range. The high valuation is primarily driven by the business interests of her husband, Tim Minett. Rose Lake Capital LLC, a venture capital management firm in which Minett is a partner, was valued at between $5 million and $25 million in the 2024 report, a massive increase from a 2023 valuation of $1 to $1,000. ESTCRU LLC, a winery company owned by Minett, was valued at between $1 million and $5 million. Why the valuation is disputed and high. 1. Methodology of valuation. Omar has stated that these valuation ranges reflect the total value of the businesses in which her husband is a partner, rather than his individual ownership stake. 2. Sudden increase. The jump from a roughly $40,000 to $250,000 net worth range in 2023 to millions in 2024 has led to intense scrutiny. 3. Political scrutiny and investigation. The rapid increase has prompted calls for investigation, including from 45th President Donald Trump and members of the House Oversight Committee. And 4. Counterclaims. Despite the filings, Omar has publicly denied being a millionaire, calling such reports ridiculous, and stating she still has student debt and limited personal income outside of her salary. The reported figures are based on, and in compliance with, House Ethics Committee guidance for reporting the value of a spouse's interest in privately held partnerships, which often involves broad ranges rather than precise figures.
Oh, Looks like you were wrong again. Yeah, Scott McCauley, this is the thing. If you're a mindless idiot and you hear somebody say, Representative Omar's net worth went from, a few thousand to 30 million. If you're an idiot, you say, oh my God, the bitch is corrupt. If you have brains, you say, I wonder why. And then you research it, and then you find out that it's her husband's company. And when she says she's not a millionaire, she means she is not a millionaire. Her husband is. Sure, the net worth is them combined, but she is not a millionaire. It's his money. He's a venture capitalist, and he's he's loaded. So see, now you'll probably deny that, but bottom line is that's the answer. That's the answer. Where's Donald Trump? Where did his money come from? You worried about his $3.8 billion? Or you just worried about the 30 million of Elon Omar's, which I just, smoked you and showed you the answer for? Unbelievable. I had 2 vaccines, then drank until COVID passed. I'm asking, I want to know how many people died from it, because I'm going to compare that to the number of people that died from COVID, and we'll see. It wasn't meant for them. So what was it meant for? You still said nothing that brings any value to this conversation except criticizing whether or not have a fucking comma. It's actually usually an apostrophe. Yeah, Stacia, if you ignore everything I said and all the things I've taught you on this episode, then yeah, I said nothing. Yeah. If you ignore all the stuff I said of substance, then I said nothing. I don't know if you've seen that mummy Clinton said, but if I were a single man, I might ask that mummy out. That's a good looking mummy. That mummy looks better than I do on my worst day. What does that mean? Bill Clinton said that? Why? Did Bill Clinton say, if I were a single man, I might ask that mummy out?
There's no evidence that Bill Clinton said, if I were a single man, I might ask that mommy out. The search results focus on his known affairs, like those with Monica Lewinsky and Jennifer Flowers.
Where do you guys get this horse shit from? Honestly. The site was what site? The learning centers were, let me show you something. Was Nick Shirley's video debunked? Yes. Look at that. What do you know? You guys live in a fucking alternate reality. Yes, numerous core claims in Nick Shirley's December 2025 video alleging massive fraud, Somali-run daycare fraud. Oh, I'm sorry, let me try that again. Yes, numerous core claims in Nick Shirley's December 2025 video alleging massive Somali-run daycare fraud in Minnesota have been widely disputed, debunked, or called into serious doubt by local media, state officials, and follow-up investigations. While the video went viral and triggered federal action, investigations have so far not validated the specific allegations made against the child care site shown. Wow. Evidence of active care. Contrary to the video's claim that the centers were empty fronts, subsequent checks by local media and officials found that many of the facilities were operating normally. In one instance, a news crew witnessed children being dropped off at a center that Shirley claimed was fraudulent, which he then dismissed as showing face. Misleading premises. Reports indicated that Shirley visited some locations during hours when they were closed. Additionally, some of the buildings he highlighted were non-operational, and he confused maximum capacity with daily attendance. Misunderstanding the system. The video frequently failed to distinguish between different types of, or in some cases confused entirely, separate state programs, leading to inaccurate conclusions about funding and oversight. Lack of evidence. Despite the claims of unprecedented levels of fraud, investigation by local authorities did not find any evidence of criminal activity at the specific sites visited by Shirley. Oh, man. It looks like you were wrong again. I can't believe it. Holy shit. I can't believe a Trump supporter was wrong again. Oh, my God. I swear to God, everything you guys believe to be true is complete bullshit and nonsense. And nobody can convince you of it. It's amazing. Do you know that one of the things Nick Shirley did, because he's a con artist, he knows you're stupid just like Trump does, so he conned you. He went to one of the learning centers. He had his camera. He's looking in the front of the place. Meanwhile, the front of the place was a locked place, and the students weren't in the front. They were all the way in the back. Okay. That's where they regularly do their things. But in this particular day, he went there in the morning and he showed the door and he blurred out the hours of operation because the hours of operation stated that it didn't close until sometime or open until sometime in the afternoon. So he went there in the morning when he knew it would be closed, and he blurred out the hours so you wouldn't see that it was supposed to be closed at that time of day. And then he told you, look, there's nobody here. It's all bullshit. Guys, you got to smarten up. I mean, honestly, you have to. It's very important, man. What are you posting, Jack Fullerton? Let's see what Jack Fullerton is saying. Trump has old money. I don't know. The mummy thing. Yeah, that thing that you just completely made up. Yeah, that's not true. Fucking, why would he say that, a mummy? You're so fucking dumb, guys. All right, guys. Your podcast trash, you and you supporters, all three of them. Yeah. We realized we were up to like 500 people for the majority of this show. We were around 400 to 500. So good try. But hey, if you want to try that again, it would be something like your podcast is trash, you and your supporters, comma, all three of them. Instead of your podcast trash, you and you supporters, all three of them. Fucking dumbass. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.